This time on Road and Race, we continue our work on our track car by finishing off the rear brake lines and discs. Welcome to another episode of Road and Race.
Hello guys.
What are we up to this week, Gary?
Well, obviously I've been away for a couple of months, and Neil's been sort of doing his own little bits and bobs, putting stickers on the car, which wasn't my idea, by the way, but they don't look too bad, so I'll let him off. But yeah, so we've been away for Christmas and stuff like that, but today we're cracking down with some more mechanical bits on the Clio.
It's kind of leftover stuff that we've not done, so we'll tell you what we're doing as we do it, but it's kind of all the stuff that we've been meaning to do and not got around to yet. Next job we have to do is to replace the brake hard lines. The reason we're doing this is because this rubber section here is crimped, so you can't actually replace it yourself. You have to buy the whole unit, so we'll take those out. There's two of those. There's a longer one for the other side of the car. And something we have to finish off as well is replacing the little the flexies that connect the hard lines together from the front of the car to the rear of the car. So this flexi will go into here, and then this part will go into the actual caliper. As usual, just place a pole on the brake pedal. That'll stop fluid leaking out when you disconnect the brake lines. Here's the back of the car where all the hard lines for the brakes meet the kind of flexies. So these are the hard lines that come from the front of the car, so we have to be very careful not to damage those because we have no replacement. But we're going to be changing these two flexi pipes here, which are rubber and have done 100,000 miles and they're 10 years old, so you know, probably worth doing just from a safety point of view. And then just out shot down here you've got these other two hard lines, and this one goes to the the passenger brake caliper, rear passenger brake caliper, and that one goes to the driver's rear brake caliper. So these are the hard lines that we bought and showed you earlier, and those will be swapped out as well. So normally I would worry about shearing the hard line here and I would support it from this end, but because we've got a replacement hard line here I'm just going to go for it, and if it shears it doesn't matter. So there we go. So that seemed to come quite easily actually. I'm surprised that wow, it's dirty but it's coming really easily. So these are going to come straight off, which is good. Make sure you put a bucket down underneath you to catch any spills. Someone needs to invent a ratcheting flare spanner. That'd be amazing. I was just saying on camera that on the BMW this was a nightmare, but this Renault, I don't know why, these are coming off first time really easily.
Do you think they've been changed at all or not?
I don't know. They're different colours, so I think one maybe was changed at one stage, but why
You never know. Maybe with the rear end shunt, maybe there could have been some damage to it.
Ah, yeah, maybe. Is that side nice and loose now? Just got to do the other one. And there's the other side, just all loose now. Now comes the tricky part of trying to release this gunky. There you go. And then, oh jeez.
You're right there, Neil.
It's quite stuck.
There's a lot of shaking going on out here.
Gary, I require the vice grips, please. Thank you, sir.
There you go. This is where you break it and it all goes wrong.
This is the bit I can break. This is just the
impact gun, yeah?
Impact gun.
I'm basically Jeremy Clarkson, but instead of a hammer, I have an impact gun. Just want to destroy everything with an impact gun.
I was told off in the comments, it's actually an impact wrench.
Oh God, oh is it? Okay. How dare you.
I know.
Although I have started holding the steering wheel differently now, since somebody...
You're doing it wrong.
Although I was taught, I was driving the safest way, you know, to hold the steering wheel. But it isn't the fastest way, it's the safest.
Yeah, it's not a racing wheel.
No, because you get less turn. So it's very weird holding it at 9 and 3 with my thumbs wrapped around the wheel now, but I'm practicing.
Just have to repeat all this with the ones at the top now. This is actually quite tight, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit more leverage by joining two spanners together. I think that freed it off. The advantage of it being so dirty under here is that if I do start twisting the line, I'll see. So this is coming along nicely. I didn't need to support from this end in the end, so that's good. Okay, so that is the first flexi rear brake hose out.
Right, so next up, we need to get this car up on axle stands because we need to attack the rear brakes. Now, we've got some new rear discs from Braided. Last time we did the brakes, the discs that we got from EDC didn't come with any bearings, which was an issue because we didn't have a bearing press, so we were unable to change them. So we left the existing discs on and just changed the pads. Whereas now we've got these, which have the bearings already pre-fitted, which makes things a lot easier. And also one of the bearings on the car at the rear is on its way out, so it needs to be done. So I'm going to fit these now, and hopefully it'll be a job that's not too difficult and I can get done in no time at all. Right, so I'm just about to remove this hard line from the caliper itself, so I think just one final turn should do it. There we go. Let's pull it out of there, and now the whole line is loose and is ready to be removed. Let's put it through. Oh, there we go. Lovely. So just need to get the caliper off now and then get the disc off, and we can start fitting the new bits.
So here's a quick shot of the rear brake pad. As you can see, this is how much pad is left after, what, 3 track days now, is it? I think.
Yeah, 3 track days.
3 track days.
Yeah. And as we're not changing the pads, we don't have to worry about taking that out, do we?
No.
So that makes it a lot easier. Quick inspection of the pads, now they're off. Don't look too bad. They're sort of, I suppose they're naturally tapered, aren't they, at the top there anyway?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, they're all right. Yeah, a few more track days left in those. As we know, the rears don't really tend to do all that much, so I wouldn't expect any different, to be honest. It does feel painful. Goodbye forever. So here's the old bearing, self-contained, and the ABS ring. We just need to make sure the new ABS ring is the correct fitment. Here they are together. This is the new one, this is the old one obviously. Putting them together, the new ABS ring looks a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if that's going to cause any issues, because you can't get a smaller one on there anyway, can you? So we'll have to see. Okay, so we need to slide this back on. And then the disc itself. Hub nut. So we'll just tighten this up before we get it torqued up properly.
Rear hub nut, 175 newton meters.
175. There you go. Tell you what, that is not going to be easy to get out. I know that for a fact.
Just a bit of brake clean to get the factory grease off the disc. And a bit of thread lock on the caliper bolts.
So now we've done those up tight, we're just going to torque it to 100 Newton meters. So it goes down in there, in there.
And then just tighten the hard line back into the caliper.
Oh, it is.
So here we are with all the new braided hoses, the interconnect hoses, all cabled up to the hard lines.
Now all that is left to do is to bleed the brakes.
So I've given the car some time to bed in the rear discs, and I'm just driving the car, so I'm just going to give you a quick update and see how the brakes feel. They're very sharp, they're much improved. I'm not sure if it was because we maybe overcooked them at the last few track days, but now that we've bled the system out, replaced the rear hard lines and also the rear discs, the brakes are really quite sharp. I mean, it's improved. It's certainly improved. I don't drive this car very often, but when I do, I always think what a little rocket it is. It's so chirpy and quirky and lively and sprightly. Just always puts a smile on your face. It's so nippy, it's surprisingly nippy. Again, you think, oh, it's not going that fast. It's going to blow your face off. It does feel like a little toy, it doesn't feel like a proper car. It's because it's so cheap in here as well. It just feels like a crate. But it's just so much fun just throwing this little thing around. It's just so sprightly. It's just like a little terrier, like a little puppy, just constantly going, ah! Yeah, I can't wait for another track day. This should be great fun.
Right, so moving forward, there's a few more mechanical bits that we need to do really before we take the car back on the track. Firstly, which was identified from the last track session, was the steering. Very sloppy, I found.
We need to investigate that.
Yeah, so possible track rod ends,
bushings, you know, who knows? But yeah, we need to really investigate what's going on there.
So get the front wheels off, have a good sort of investigation and replace any parts that we see fit. And hopefully that'll improve the feeling of the car, and then we can move on to other bits and bobs in the future.
Yeah. We also need to get some proper road tyres.
Yes, get rid of the evergreens, finally.
Nice to do a comparison against the road tyres on track and the track tyres we have as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be good because if it's wet at the track, we can just keep the road tyres on. Yeah. So as long as they're a good quality road tyre, which will be okay on a damp track. Yeah. And also, we're thinking of booking a track day at Bedford Autodrome, just for a fun day out. So, you know, we should get some footage of that. It should be a good laugh. Yeah.
If the car's ready.
If the car's ready. Fingers crossed it will be.
Click the top right box for the next episode, or the bottom right box to watch from the start of this series. And as always, thanks for watching.